All right. Let's see if I can set up the cam. All right, we are applying for jobs while whispering because everybody's asleep. It's pretty late right now. I have a good lead though. We have Shang. Looks like they're hooking me up with a job. I have my email. A little posted on LinkedIn. Let's go to my YouTube and actually get the link. Share. String URL copied. Well, turns out that's in a different one. That's fine because I can just go to my channel. I wonder how well you can hear the sounds of the cars. Chat rate. Who's chatting? I don't actually see the messages. I have chat open. Top chat, all chat, live stream. Okay. Well, hey, chatter. Is this some sort of like artifact? Okay. Oh, okay, the chat rate went down. All right, it went away. That's no problem. Let's share this. Copy. Fall asleep to me. Looking for work and going over my rejections. Live on YouTube. And the stream link. Post. See, missing frames. We have a few. 2.6 milliseconds render a frame. That's good enough. All right, I mean, things look good. All right. Let's check out this Kinetics job. Let's open up my email. Because I know I have a few rejections. Okay, let's go over the rejections first. That might be the most informative thing. Go over the rejections first. Hopefully I don't get too upset and end up waking anybody up. We are being quiet. We are trying to be quiet. Oh, good. My payment confirmation on my rent went through. That's always nice to know. All right. Open up my email address. All right, what do we got? Just posted. Mark, you have new application updates this week. That's what I'm looking for. What are my application updates? Let's find out. You know, I get the feeling that none of them are all that good. Grant writer, application viewed. Okay, grant writer from Girls Inc. of Orange County. Senior scientist of Sinvect. Viewed. Scientist at Benetech, no longer accepting applications. Molecular biologist at Compunal, no longer accepting applications. Do I have like actual specific emails from these things? That's what I'd like to know. Here we go. Your LinkedIn, your update from work in biotech. Associate Scientist, Scientist 1, Scientist 2, Phage Display, and Molecular Biology. Thank you for your interest in Associate Scientist, Scientist 2, Scientist 1, Phage Display, and Molecular Biology position at work in biotech in San Diego. Unfortunately, we will not be moving forward with your application, but we appreciate your time and interest in work in biotech. Regards, work in biotech. What was this one? Was this one that I was not like particularly qualified to do? I gotta plug in Hopefully you can hear all the bumps. I hope it sounds like a cartoon. Just like things falling down the stairs. A bowling ball running into pins. Alright. Associate Scientist, Scientist 1. Pay range was, and this is what I was rejected from, pay range was $115,000 to $145,000 a year. It's pretty big. Alright, what were the qualifications? BS or MS in biochemistry or related scientific field. 4 years of hands-on experience with phage display and molecular biology. So, I guess there were a few reasons why I might be rejected from this one. One is that I have a PhD and they are looking for a BS and MS. The other, possibly more realistic one, is that I don't have 4 years of experience with phage display. I have experience with phage display. I don't have 4 years of experience with phage display. I do have experience with some of these things. All right, so not the best swing I took, but you know, if they're looking for someone with more experience doing phage display, well, what can you do? What else we got? Okay, the next email is these 2 jobs. Senior Scientist in Product Development Peptide Formulations and Temp Laboratory Research Assistant. I feel like the page you're looking for doesn't exist. Okay, so the temp one, I cannot be referred to. Okay, so the only thing I can apply for is Senior Scientist Formulations. See, what was this one? This is develop analytical methods for evaluation of parenteral peptide and protein formulations, HPLC stability testing, SEC, reverse phage, IEC. Okay, yeah, this is one that I had a decent idea of. Understand of compendial methods for sterile drug development, sterility, endotoxin, subvisible particles, pH, osmolality. And then, Yeah, this one I have. Yeah. Working knowledge of the following instrumentation: HPLC, SECMALS. I know SECMALS. Particle size analysis. I know particle size analysis. Viscosity, not so much. Dynamic light scattering, know that one very well. Capillary isoelectric focusing, I know what that is, but I've never done it. Subvisible particulate matter, never done that one, but I know what that is. I can do that. Density and osmolality. Yeah, this one I got a good shot for. The pay range is, this is insane. 128,000 to 185. Jeez. Absolutely insane. I don't even want a job necessarily. Like, I'm not even asking for jobs that pay that much. That would be amazing. It would be amazing to get a job that pays that much. But that's not even like what I am going after. That's not even the dream. I'm like, can I get something that pays like 75? Can I get paid something that can I get a job that gives me health insurance for my family so that my kids aren't on Medicaid? Not that being on Medicaid is bad, but it'd be nice. It'd be nice if I got paid enough such that my kids weren't on Medicaid. All right. Let's apply for this one. We'll apply for this one, and then we'll apply for the position at UCSD. No. University State. I'm so tired. California University, San Diego. Yeah. Not University of California. California State University, San Diego. They're looking for the lecturer pool. I mean, they're always looking for like lecturer pools. I think tomorrow I'm gonna apply for a bunch of like, sub at high school. I was informed that you don't need a certificate to be a sub at a high school. And as someone with a PhD and years of experience teaching, I've been teaching full time, or more or less full time. It's been my main job, I should say, for 2 years now. I have 3 years experience with being the instructor of record. And of course, TAing since 2016. So coming up on 10 years of total teaching experience. Teaching in some capacity. All right, let's look at my biotech resume for this senior scientist, principal scientist in product development, peptide formulations. Have you ever been employed by Neurocrine? No. Okay, this is on my address, mobile device. Next. Now, for my description of jobs, I really want to talk about FPLC, HPLC. Let's see, produce and purified RNA and protein targets in bacterial systems for downstream biophysical and functional assays using reverse phase HPLC. Let's do SEC. Let's do ion exchange. And what is the cool name for hist chromatography? I know there's like a cool acronym, but I can't think of it right now. What is it? Affinity chromatography, because it's nickel affinity chromatography, but there's like a acronym, and I don't know what it is. Immobilized metal ion? Is that it? It is IMAC. Yeah. The polyhis tag. IMAC. Okay. Let's just call it affinity chromatography. Affinity chromatography. PhD researcher. Okay. This one I think is fine. Okay, now here I have to characterize protein structure. Okay, conducted high yield protein expression in material systems and isotonically labeled. Here we go. Characterized protein stability, aggregation size, particle size, and what else? Structure. Using methods such as secmols. I used secmols in order to determine the first virial coefficient. That is how strongly particles are interacting with each other. So you learn what the particle size is, and you do some math, which, to be honest, I didn't understand. But you just do some like magic math, and it'll spit out some number, some like physical constant that's meant to represent the attractive forces between particles. So it's pretty cool. Secmols is a pretty cool technique. It's size exclusion chromatography coupled to multi-angle light scattering. So you use the size exclusion column to like separate things by size, and then multi-angle light scattering tells you about like the size and shape essentially. All right, by secmols. Let's just do light scattering, dynamic and static light scattering. Dynamic and static light scattering. What were the other very important skills here? Let's look at them. Make sure that we are getting all of them. Dynamic and static light scattering. Oh, circular dichroism. Oh my God. Circular dichroism. Circular dichroism is measuring how polarized light is rotated by your protein sample. So it'll tell you about the structure. It'll also tell you about, like, I guess in some sense, the purity. Like, I'd imagine for drugs, if the drugs are chiral, you want to have some idea as to the degree of chirality. Like, is it a racemic mixture, or is it the L or the D form, right? Is there one version or another that's more predominant? That's probably what they're after. For me, it was looking at every protein has like a fingerprint, a CD fingerprint that's determined by its secondary structure. Like, the amount of alpha helix versus beta sheet will give you particular amounts of rotation of polarized light at different wavelengths. So it kind of gives you a sense as to, is the secondary structure intact? Is it changing as you change the protein? Those kinds of things. That was my experience with CD. Okay. IEC. I assume this is ion exchange chromatography. Yeah, IEC is going to be ion exchange chromatography. What else? What else did I do? I did fluorescence assays. I did fluorescence assays. I misspelled fluorescence, which is fine. Okay, I did fluorescence assays. I did. What else? ITC, isothermal calorimetry. Let's go and other biophysical characterizations. I'm running out of space here. All right, I mean, that's pretty good. That really gets over like what they're asking for. Okay. Undergraduate researcher, that can stay. Lecturer can stay. Degree, PhD. I should put doctor in my YouTube name. Can I change that? Can I just change that right now? YouTube. Change YouTube display name. I know I can't stay on task, but I guess that's how it is sometimes. All right, let's go to my streaming account. Change it to doctor. Change it to doctor. Let's go to account. I guess it's in personal info. Name. Name. First name. Mark. Okay, wait. Change YouTube channel display name. Change YouTube channel display name. Okay, how do I change my username? On the mobile. No, this is awful. YouTube is awful. Okay. Like, when I upload a short, if I want to change the thumbnail of the short, I can't do it through the desktop app. Not only can I not do it through the desktop app, I can't do it through the mobile YouTube Studio app. I have to do it through the mobile YouTube app. So there are like 3 places where I should be able to do it in all 3. I should be able to do it in the YouTube Studio on the desktop. I should be able to do it on YouTube on the desktop. I should be able to, I guess there's 4. I should be able to do it on YouTube Studio on mobile. And I should be able to do it on YouTube on mobile, the normal YouTube app on mobile. But you can only do it on one. This is a $1 billion company. It's a $1 billion company. All right, YouTube. Let's open up the YouTube app. Let's put doctor. I'm a doctor. I should be able to put doctor on my account. All right, I'm only going to be on for like an hour. At midnight, I am going to go to sleep. So I'm going to apply for a few jobs. Maybe I'll play a video game or 2. I don't know. Okay. Channel? All right. Your channel. I don't see that anywhere. On the mobile app, tap your profile picture. Okay. Tap my profile picture. Hit the pencil. Name. You can only change your name twice in 14 days. Let's just put doctor. Save. Because I'm a doctor. I am a doctor. I got my PhD. I should be able to put it. My handle can stay the same as just my name. All right, awesome. All right. Oh yeah, we're applying for jobs. We are applying for jobs. Of course we are. We are applying for a very important one. One that I am getting a referral from a well-respected employee. Okay. My skills. DLS. No items. Dynamic. I cannot spell. Dynamic light scattering. Dynamic light scattering DLS. Dynamic light scattering analysis. Static light scattering. Multi-angle light scattering. What else do we have? Neutron scattering. Ooh. Did those add? Okay, yeah, they did add. What was it? There's one more. There's one more really cool one. EPR. Okay, do I have NMR on here? I should have NMR. No, okay. NMR. 1D NMR, CNMR. Nuclear magnetic. Let's see if I can find nuclear magnetic resonance. Okay. Nuclear magnetic resonance spectroscopy. Okay. And there's EPR. Yeah. I don't think that's going to be important for this job, but I mean, it's like a fancy thing, I know. It's a fancy thing I did one time. I've done it. You know, that's really all that matters. Okay. EPR. Dicro. Let's search for dichroism. There's circular dichroism. Let's search for secmols. Secmols. No secmols. Okay, just size exclusion, chromatography. All right, size exclusion. Let's just do the other chromatographies. Chromatographies. There's me. All the different chromatographies. These things are actually important, right? It is. Do you know how to pronounce the common words within that field? If you're pronouncing them wrong, it means that you don't use them often enough. You haven't been around people who also use them. And so that is actually a problem. It is kind of like a silly thing to some degree. It's like, oh, you don't know how to pronounce these words. But it's a bad sign. Like if you don't know how to pronounce these words, it is a bad sign. Okay. What were my other skills? Okay, I have DLS. Let's put reverse phase and let's put ion exchange. Reverse phase. Reverse phase HPLC. And let's put ion exchange. Ion exchange. Is there ion exchange chromatography? Ion chromatography. Ion exchange column. What if I put IEX? IEX? No, this is all like web stuff. Okay. And here's IEX. It's IEC. My bad. Not IEX. IEC. I'm thinking like the exchange is often an X. I've seen that before. All right, there's IEC. What else do we need? What else are my skills here? All right, I think that's gonna be it. Upload resume, already uploaded. LinkedIn profile. Because everyone should be able to see, people should be able to watch the kind of darkness that is applying for jobs. But let's see. LinkedIn. Next. Dropped frames in network. 0. Not bad. Are you legally authorized to work? Yes. Do you need? No, I do not need. What is your desired salary? What was the range? The range here was insane. 128,000. 128,000. It feels bad to ask for that much. I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna put the very bottom. The very bottom would be a miracle. The very bottom of this would be an absolute miracle. 128. 1, 2, 3. Can I put a year? No, just a number. Okay, it is annual salary. Are you? I am local. This is in San Diego. I am local. Describe yourself. Okay, all of my normal race stuff. I do want to know why we have the option of are you Hispanic or Latino as one of the ethnicities, and then please indicate if you are Hispanic or Latino. Because I can understand why they are different. Like, we have, Black, Pacific Islander, right? Because you can be Asian and Latino, right? It's like being an American. It has that same kind of quality to it. I remember in community college, there was this one guy, he was Asian, but he was from Venezuela. He spoke Spanish, he spoke English with a Spanish accent. He was even a powerlifter. He was this incredibly ripped Asian guy. And he's like, yeah, man, I was born in Venezuela. I am Venezuelan. I'm like, yeah, you are. you are from Venezuela. And that's what it is, being Hispanic. It's just like being an American. Being North American, I should say, right? Where you can be any race. But then why is it an option? Right? Hispanic, Latino, United States of America. Because then you just pick your race and then go, are you Hispanic, if you want to kind of qualify that. I'm not a veteran. Next. All right, today's date. Oh yeah, that's why I paid rent. That's why I paid rent today. No, I do not have a disability, and I have never had one in the past. I will have one in the future. Everyone does. I have applied to Crinetics before, so I mean Neurocrine, not Crinetics. Crinetics is a different company that I've applied to. My applications. Temp associate scientist in progress. Oh yes, I already applied to that. That's why I can't get the referral. Because I already applied to it. Of course. Was there anything else? temp senior scientist, bioanalytical chemist. This was the mass spec one. Yeah. Academic and working knowledge of mass spec molecular biology in vitro bioassays. I'll send this one to my friend again. Because I think I sent him 3 positions, but I think I actually sent the same position twice. I think I accidentally sent the same position twice. Because I wanted to apply for this one also, bioanalytical chemist. That's something that I think I can do. Yeah, temp, scientist, bioanalytical chemist. All right, here we go. I'll send them the link to this one. Be like, hey, I think I wanted to send this one as well. I think I wanted to send this one as the 3rd. Okay. So we're only going to apply for 2 jobs tonight because it takes so long to apply for jobs. Especially for the academic jobs. Let's do SDSU. That's what I want to say. Not UCSD, SDSU. San Diego State University. Oh my God, these 4.5 months ago, my job at Gilead Sciences ended due to their recent restructuring. 4.5 months. It makes me so sad, but I absolutely hate these posts. Like, who am I? I'm an accomplished senior support specialist, blah, 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 blah. Like, there's no bite to these. Losing your job is so painful and it's so stressful because, like, you can see, you know exactly how much you have to burn, and that countdown is so brutal. It's so brutal. And like, LinkedIn is full of these incredibly positive, like, oh, I lost my job, but I am the best at this. And they are good. Like, these are people that do deserve a job. Oh, wow, he already got back to me. Of course, please remind me if you don't receive a link for this one tomorrow. Thanks, I can't tell you how much I appreciate this. It is really special what he is doing for me. Like, a lot of people reached out to me and like, oh, hey, I'll help you with this, I'll help you with that, but they're not actually doing much to help. This guy, he's doing it. This is a friend. This is a friend. Like, I am going to owe him, even if I don't get a job through him. The fact that he is even doing this, I owe him. I don't even know what I owe him, but it's something I just owe him. Man. All right, do I still have the SDSU page open? No, I don't. I should go over my teaching evals. I just got my final teaching evals from the students. I should go over those on stream as well. I had a bunch of students very upset at me. And there's this one chart in the evals that I think really explains why these students were upset. And it was the difference between the grade that they expected to get and the grade that they actually got. It was something like 60% of the students expected to get an A, not even close. And like, my average GPA for the course was a 3.0, which is in line with the department expectations. Right? There is a certain expectation within the department that this course will be this hard, and they expect most people to get B's and C's. And my course was right in line with that. Most people got B's and C's. A few people got A's. Well, relatively few people got A's. Very few people failed. Like, the only people that failed were the people that just did not turn in assignments. If you turned everything in, you got a C. You turned everything in, you got a C. But not everybody turned everything in. And so there are a few people that failed. But the big difference was that like 60% of the people thought that they were going to get an A in my class, and they did not get an A. 60% of the people did not get an A. And they were very upset. They were very upset at that. Okay. Let's see if we have any more rejections and see if we can learn anything from these rejections. We have some stuff from Lenza. Lenza's been reaching out a lot to me. Not much in terms of useful things. You know, Autism Learning Partners is hiring for an executive director. Lenza is just like shooting stuff at me. They're not super focused. Some of it is like scientist stuff, but yeah, not really much. Okay, here we go. Your application for grant writer at Girls of Orange County. Thank you for your interest in grant writer position at Girls Inc. of Orange County in Santa Ana, California. Unfortunately, we will not be moving forward with your application, but we appreciate your time and interest in Girls Inc. of Orange County. I've actually interviewed for a grant writer position. It was a science grant writer, so I kind of understand why this one. What was the reason? Let's see. Develop compelling grant proposals, application, letters of inquiry. So I've written like plenty of grants. They all, or at least like, proposals for funding, right? I've written plenty of proposals of funding and gotten them funded. They are all for science, right? Like, this is my research proposal. And I'd imagine that this is slightly different, but plenty of experience writing in that way. What else do we got? Okay, Lenza, be the first to apply to Research Scientist 2 special projects at Amazon. That's not going to be the kind of research scientist that I am qualified to be. That's going to be like ML stuff, right? ML, what is it? What does ML stand for? Machine learning. That's right. That's what it stands for. Let's see. Ooh, update from Sanofi. No, that's so painful. That's so painful. Update on your application, Scientist 1, upstream, MSAT. Okay, we're going to take a look at this one again. We're going to take a look at my qualifications, compare it to this upstream MSAT position. And like, because I didn't, okay, let's read this. Thank you for your time and energy. You're dedicated to your application for the Scientist 1 upstream MSAT position at Sanofi. After thorough. Oh, hey, Jasper. Hey, how's it going? Good luck with the applications. Greetings from Germany. What's up, Jasper? Thank you. Thank you for giving me my first chat in message. You're the first one. Yeah. I'm also trying to keep everyone asleep. So, you know, it's a little bit of a, what is it? ASMR? AMSR? What is the acronym? Actually, no. I don't actually know what the acronym is. All right. It says, after thorough consideration and review of all applicants, we regret to inform you that we have decided to move forward with another candidate who more closely met the specific requirements. All right, let's look at this one. Scientist 1, upstream MSAT. Because I really felt like if this was the position that I think it is, because I applied to a few different positions at Sanofi. And if this is the one that I think it is, then I am like super, super crazy qualified for this position. So what are you, hey Jasper, what are you doing in Germany now? Is it still science? I have 0 saved jobs. How do I get to my career area? How do I log in? Because I have like a login, right? That's what I did in order to apply for these. Let me just search my email for Sanofi. Okay, Mark, you've applied to Scientist 3. Okay, yeah, just my list of applications. Here we go. Sanofi Workday. Yeah, how do I get to this again? How do I get to Sanofi Workday? I have applied to so many things through Workday. I'm working at a startup developing cultivated meat. Is cultivated meat like the plant-based meat? Is that what cultivated meat means? Okay, this is the website I'm looking for. Sanofi Careers Workday. Sign in. So I can actually see like the qualifications for this. Oh yeah. You knew, hey Jesper, you knew Jan, right? Jan also was working in a place like that up in San Francisco. I don't think he's doing that now. I think he left that position. Okay, the only other one I've actually applied to, so I guess, was associate manager, scientist vaccine, and then the others are through a different program, through like their flex program. So I haven't heard anything back from that. All right, let's look at MSAT. Scientist 1, upstream, and the recombinant drug substance. What was this one? PhD with 0 years of industry experience. That's me. Okay. What were the other skills? Just upstream processes. Okay, maybe this wasn't the one. I mean, you know, hands-on experience at the laboratory producing biologics. Yeah, I have definitely done that. But there was this one at Sanofi where it's also like, you know, experience with HPLC, FPLC, protein stability assays. No, it's isolating animal stem cells. Oh, that's sick. It's isolating animal stem cells and cultivating them and differentiating them into a muscle and fat to have the meat product without the animal to slaughter. That's pretty sick. That is pretty cool. Yeah, that's the all right. So that's the lab grown meat. Okay, I'm not connected with him. Yeah, I connected with him again. I like sent him a message on LinkedIn some months ago, and yeah, he was at Berkeley, Lawrence Berkeley National Lab, and then left. That was his postdoc, and then he had a position at like a meat alternative place, and then he left that position. Now he's at a different startup. He's been like kind of bouncing around for a few different startups, which might be. It seems like it is easier to get a job at a startup than a bigger company, which I am absolutely willing to do. But it does definitely seem like the people who have jobs at startups bounce around. Have you been at your place for a while? All right. Let me find this SDSU place. Okay, it looks like the other Sanofi places. It's the managers in vaccine. I think it was the manager of vaccine. Okay. Yeah, that's the one. It was uh, manager associate scientist in the vaccine department. And it was producing, like essentially managing how to produce proteins for their vaccines. I was at a startup in the Netherlands for 3 years, and now it's been a year here in Germany. Okay, that's not so bad. Yeah. Is it true? The You're working at a place for a few years and then going to somewhere else. That's the best way to get an increase in pay. I've been at like after I graduated, I've just been at UC San Diego since I graduated. Okay, so this one is the one in vaccine is currently under review. Currently under review. I think startups are more flexible in terms of profile, but they may be less stable. Yeah. Yeah, that's what it seems to me. But like I have a buddy who's uh, helping me. He was at Takeda, which is a huge uh, pharmaceutical manufacturing company, right? A global pharmaceutical manufacturing company, and they closed their San Diego location. He picked up a job fairly quickly, but you know, stability is rough. Oh, not for me. Oh, okay, that's good that you get to be closer to your hometown again. Yeah. Um, my sister-in-law, she is a project manager at some biotech company, and she has like hopped from job to job, and like she's been at the place that she's at least her current location. She's been working here for some time, but every few years she will threaten to leave. She will like get a job offer somewhere else. So she did hop around because like I've known her for I guess 15 years now, and so but like for those first like 10 years that I've known her, she had a new job every few years, but it and now she just gets a job offer every few years and at the same place gets a raise. So like that's pretty sick. That's that's pretty sick. You get the benefit of the job hopping um without having to like move and stuff. Also like the position that she's in can be done remotely. Like she does a lot of work from home. And there was a time where she was living in the area, like in the San Diego area, and doing project management for some, biotech company in like North Carolina. And every so often they had to go to Carolina for whatever reason, but for the most part, just stayed here and worked from home. Like that's a pretty sick setup too. Yeah, and like she did it right. Like she got her bachelor's degree. I guess it would have been like 2008 or something like that. Which, one huge advantage of startups is the option to explore and learn more. Yeah, that definitely does seem cool. Like I am definitely feeling like a lot of positions that I'm applying for, they are looking for this very particular skill set, and they're willing to like sit on a position for a long time until they get that skill set that they're looking for, as opposed to kind of being a little flexible, maybe taking someone who has a similar but not perfect skill set and finding a role for them. They're just like, no, we need someone to do mass spec. We want someone who's an expert on mass spec. We're looking for the perfect mass spec person. And, we will have this position open for 4 months, 5 months. Because I'll see like a lot of the same positions again and again at, at like these, especially these larger companies like PacBio. There's this one protein scientist position at PacBio that I swear was open for like 7 months. And I'm like, who are you looking for? Who is this like perfect protein scientist that you were looking for? That this position has not been filled yet, PacBio. And like, it was a position that they took it down, and then like, because I had applied and then took it down, and then they opened it back up like a week later, and I applied again. Like it's a position that I applied for like 3 or 4 times over the past few years. I guess eventually it got full. I got rejected. I got straight up rejected for it every single time I applied, and didn't even get to a basic interview stage. But I was also like, who is interviewing for this, and who are you looking for? I even like at one point I reached out, like I found out who the hiring manager was, and I messaged them on LinkedIn. This was like last year, and they like ghosted me. It's like, oh come on. At least it shows that I'm dedicated. Okay. Dude, I can't find my the saved San Diego State posting. Day biochemistry lecture pool. Full. All right, here it is. Applicant login. gmail.com. Please enter an email address. This is an email address. Oh, I'm missing the at. It's not an email address. I don't actually know how to type an email address. There was this one moment that like broke my heart fairly early in this kind of job application journey that I've been on, I guess for the past few years. It was when a friend of mine, after I don't know how many times I had looked at my resume, or I had other people look at my resume, but someone eventually pointed out that my email address was spelled wrong. It's like, no, not my email address. It's been spelled wrong the whole time. I'm like, how long? It was like months. Like, I don't even know how long it was spelled wrong for. It was so sad. I mean, I wonder if there was at least one person who reached out to me using that email address. Like, I had submitted the application, and then they tried to use that email address, and like, they're like, oh man, he's ghosting me. always bumps along the road. Okay, document uploads. Here we go. Are you a current lecturer in this department? No. Most recent CV? This one I think is fine. No, let's delete. Let's last updated. Okay, yeah, the last time I applied to this school was June 29th, 2023. So that is an old CV. I can upload a newer one. Okay, got to continue work. Nice chatting with you. Right, no problem. Hey, thank you for stopping by. It's good chatting with you, Jasper. Have fun pipetting. Maybe I'll see you next time. I'm going to be streaming late for the next week. So if you're like up at work, stop by, say hi. I'll talk to you later. Okay. Let's find my resume. Let's find that resume. It is in the, not industry, CC teaching. It'll be in the CC teaching. There it is. The newest one's probably Bishop School. When I applied for Bishop School back in January. Please attach your cover letter. What would be a good cover letter? I could do the Southwestern. That was probably the most recent teaching place that I applied for. Because I don't want to write a whole nother cover letter. So I had one for, yeah, Southwestern. Let's look at this cover letter. Is this the most recent one? No, this one's too old. This one talks about me teaching BIBC 100. What was the Texas school I applied to? It was Southwestern. All right, let's look at the cover letter for Chapman. No, this is all about BIBC 100. These are all old. What did I use? What was my cover letter for? I applied to 2 schools in Texas. Can I like check out that application? Can I just look at it? Can I look at my application? It's San Jacinto College? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, in the Houston area. Okay, yeah, this was the place that I applied for. Let's see if I can just log in, because I can't seem to find the actual letter. Let's go here. Let's go to careers. And I also applied to a Texas State. No. Join the SAC team. Hiring. External applicants. Current openings. Current employees apply here. Main page. Sign in. This is what I'm looking for. Sign in. See if I can find my... It might not let me see it. Let's try the Texas State one. Log in. Log in. Let's see if it'll let me see my application, my documents. Cover letter. Okay. This is what I want. But what folder on my computer is, because this is just a PDF, so I can't edit it. What folder on my computer is it in? This is like, why can't I be a little bit more organized? Just a little bit more organized. All right, whatever. I can take one of these and edit it. Oh, here it is. This is the one from Tanheki-do. Yes, yes, yes. I found it. Because I can just take this, change San Jacinto, because it's a pretty good cover letter. I think it's a pretty good cover letter. And take out San Jacinto and make it SDSU. Easy. Open. Okay. Position applying for, let's call it, did I ever hear from this? Did I ever hear from this? Yeah, status updates. San Jacinto. Yeah, they rejected me. While your qualifications met the requirements, the committee decided to pursue other applicants. That's so brutal. Who? Who? Who are these people? Position of professor of biology. Man. It's hard. It's hard getting a job at community college. Okay. Progressing for lecture pool recipient SDSU. And what is this position exactly? It is what? What department is it? Was it biochemistry or was it biology? I can't remember. SDSU. Chemistry and biochemistry. If I could spell right. Chemistry. Chemistry and biochemistry. Instructor application. Okay. I'm writing to the lecturer pool position at SDSU. This just talks about what I did at my other places. Oh. I think I found why I didn't get this job. If this was my letter of rec, I left in a reference to Miramar. I left one in somewhere in there. That might be it. You go over it a million times and there's always some mistake. If that's why, that hurts my heart. And it might be why. Alright, make a cover letter. Cover letter's up to date. No, save. Let's do the PDF. This cover letter's up to date. Let's open up the make file. No. Resumes there is not in examples. It's just in the base directory. Let's try that. Not in examples, just base directory. CV's examples, resume. Shall find CV dir name. What about cover letter? All right, here we go. Just cover letter dot text. There we go. Nope, I don't want to do that. That's the wrong terminal. Terminated variable reference. Interesting. Okay. No rule. All right, let's get rid of the slash. Maybe that'll do it. That'll finally do it. Darn it. There we go. Now it's doing it. Let's just do, see, whoops. See the tags, cover letter. All right, here's my cover letter. Did I time out? I did time out. I haven't heard anything from Texas State yet. In process. Still says in process. Gotta do a lot of this again? No. Okay. I'll have to upload a CV again, yeah. Okay. Last updated. Upload file. I gotta upload the CV again. Timed out. Took too long. Let's go to CC Teaching. Let's go to Bishops. Even though they are not a community college, they are in my community college jobs folder. Please attach my resume. Okay. Let's do... This is going to be my cover letter. I have to have attach a file with 3 references. I have that. I feel like I do have that. References. Yeah, references.pdf. Okay. Where is this? Open item location. Okay. Some job references. All right, please attach a list of courses you would like to be considered for, or any other documents you would like to consider. Unofficial transcripts. Let's upload my unofficial transcripts. I assume they want my undergraduate and graduate together. I think I have that, because I had to do that for another class. For my transcripts, I had to do that for another one. Is it just this one, transcripts? This is 16 pages. Fullerton. 16 pages of transcripts. Okay. This is all of them, yeah. Because it has my dissertation filed. It's just called transcripts. Okay. And it's in Chapman uploaded material transcripts. Now I have to look up a list of classes. Jobs. Teaching. Transcripts. Yeah. Please attach other required documents needed for consideration. I don't think there is anything. A list of classes. San Diego State University. Biology, chemistry, biochemistry. Classes. What classes do they even offer? Like undergrad study courses, undergraduate courses. Okay, we have chemistry 100. Yeah. All right, let's open up a document here. for chemistry and biochemistry, there's not much. I mean, there's okay. I have Chem 100, Chem 100. Chem 362, maybe. Maybe Chem 520B, maybe. Definitely Chem 560, absolutely. 562, 563B, yeah. 562, 563B. I wonder what other classes do they have. So that's spring. That's spring 2025. What the chemistry syllabus collection? Chem 210. There's a lot of stuff that isn't on here. Let's look at the general catalog. Not chemistry. I want in the general catalog. Okay. Okay, here we go. Let's do more. Chem 102. Chem 103. Chem. I don't like organic. I mean, if it's elementary, I think I can get away with it. Chem 160, absolutely. Chem, let's just caps lock. Why is caps lock not on? Chem 160. These are all the classes that I think I can teach. Chem 162, saving our planet with sustainable biochemistry. Yeah, I can teach that class. Chem 200, general chemistry. I teach that right now. Chem 201, I can teach that because I teach that right now. Organic chemistry, I do want to stay away from because it has been a long time since I have taught or even taken organic chemistry. Let's do Chem 365, which is fundamentals of biochemistry. I absolutely can teach that. I absolutely can teach that. And metabolism, I have taught. It's already on the list. General biochemistry. Yeah, all right. Chem 563, which is nucleic acid functions and protein synthesis. That would be a very easy class for me to teach. Chem 564, very easy class for me to teach. Receptor biochemistry and protein modification. 567. All this 500, I should just, is there a way that I can just like condense this? Like, just let me teach any chemistry in the 500, like the whole 500 series. Chemistry, thermodynamics, I don't think I can teach a whole thing on thermodynamics in chemistry. That might be hard. In case anyone's wondering, if you have never taught a class before, so like, okay, teaching at a college, in some sense, is like the sickest job. It is the coolest job. If you are teaching like 2 or 3 classes, which is considered a full load, if you are teaching 2 or 3 classes, and you have taught these classes 3 or 4 times before, you have a part-time job. It is so sick, because you don't grade, your TAs grade. You have all of your lecture materials. You have like a test data bank to pull from. It is so sick. That is a part-time job. Like you have a lot of time to, well, I mean, like at least the teaching portion of it, it's a part-time job. You still have things like service to the campus, but it allows you to have time to explore these other aspects of your life. Because like there is more to being a teacher than teaching. There is more. than just teaching. But the teaching portion of it makes up a relatively small portion of your time. If you are teaching 3 classes that you have never taught before, you are working 80 or 100 hours a week. It is so brutal. It is so brutal to teach classes that you have never taught before. It is so difficult. And like the position that I've been in has been like, I am teaching a class that I have never taught before. Again and again and again. Like every quarter is a class that I've never taught before. I think there was one class I did get to teach 3 times, which was nice, Chem 109. And it's very nice to be able to teach a class that you've taught before, especially 3 times. So, all right, here we go. List of classes. Let's save this as a PDF and upload it. And I'm probably going to have to re-upload just my whole thing because I'm probably timed out by now. List of classes. List of classes.pdf. No, I haven't timed out. I can make it. Upload file. List of classes. Yes. My transcripts, certify, save and exit. You have saved a draft. Oh no, I don't want save and exit. I want complete application. Save and continue. I want save and continue. Continue. Okay, here we go. The voluntary demographic stuff. Yeah, all my voluntary demographic stuff. Continue. Am I disabled? Type in my name. And the day. What is today? Oh, we've made it all the way to the 2nd. All right. To July 2025. I do not have a disability. Save and exit. And back to home. No, I did it again. I clicked save and exit. Why is it not save and continue? Why does it just say continue and not save and continue? That's what my brain is like latching onto because I want to save. I don't want to lose my, so I just see save and it's like, oh, exit the page, not exit the entire application. Okay, I am not a veteran. Continue. Okay. Are you eligible to work without sponsorship? Yes. Do you have any relatives? No. Do not have any relatives that work at this campus. I have read and agreed. I did read it. I read it that fast. How did you hear about this opportunity? LinkedIn. All right. Submit. All right. That's 2 jobs. 2 jobs down today. All right. Close window. I could teach a bunch of classes in this department. There are probably even more that I could teach. I would really rather teach these biochemistry ones. Like the biochemistry laboratory, receptor biochemistry, protein modifications, nucleic acid function, protein synthesis, metabolism, general biochemistry. All of those I'd really like to teach. And then the lower ones, these lower ones I would really like to teach too. They wouldn't be too bad. I've taught classes similar to this and I can use a lot of those same lectures in order to do it. Things I would not want to teach is like Chem 413, quantum chemistry. Jeez, it's been a while since I've had to like think about chemistry in that way. It's been a while. All right, well, been at this for like an hour and a half. Got a bunch of rejections. Got a bunch of jobs that I applied for that we'll see if we get. What do I want to do now? I can play Sega Genesis. I'd kind of have to hook it up though. I mean, I can just bring everything over here. Maybe tomorrow night. Maybe tomorrow night I'll play a little bit of Sega Genesis. One thing I've been thinking about getting into is like the sports games and like the really casual games, like the gambling games and the pool games and the fishing games and the hunting games on things like the Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo, because I know like nothing about these things. And I guess I know nothing about these things for a reason, right? Like they are probably not that good, but it is still like this gap in my knowledge that, and anytime I have a gap like that in my knowledge about video games, I am immediately interested in it. So that is one thing that I might consider. But I'm going to take a shower. I'm going to go to sleep. And tomorrow will be more jobs. Tomorrow will be high school. Applying for high school. That's substitute high school teacher. That's where I am now. Not that like being a high school teacher is bad, and I think I'd be a good high school teacher. The problem is that, again, the stability. Like what I'm really looking for is the stability, and substitute teacher is not going to offer me the stability that I'm looking for. You know, it might help me pay rent, which, you know, can't knock that. But not the stability that I want. All right, well, that's all for tonight. I'll be back tomorrow. Until I find something, I'll be back tomorrow. Bye.